Hello, I'm Patrick Reames, ComTech Advisory. I'm very happy to be part of a conversation today with Mr. Dave Meyer, President of Enuit, and Mr. Ken Hahn, CEO of Enuit. Guys, let's just jump into it. It's been a very interesting period over the last several years with quite a few difficulties, but Enuit really still seems to be doing pretty well. You've opened new markets and our new offices, rather, in Europe, Japan, India. And this year alone, I understand you guys have added about 30 new employees. Can you tell me what's driving this growth and what are some of the major highlights that you've had as a company this last year?
Ken, why don't you?
Yeah. Okay, I can take this, Dave. I think a couple of things. One is Dave and I have always wanted to expand the company globally. And also commodity-wise and everything. So that's one reason. So we want to expand the business. The second one is quite simple. It's purely responding to the market needs. If you look at the new offices that we opened in Europe, we see a growing needs for system like InTrade. Japan. Opened up the Japan office. Indian office will prepare for the Indian market. And also we see a lot of trained experts in India, good resources in India. So there are actually pretty simple decisions for us. It's just simply responding to the market.
Yeah. Earlier this year, Enuit started doing some structural changes, bringing in a C-level structure to Enuit. And I understand that next year there's going to be a pretty strong focus on very specific verticals, and you're going to bring in additional and continue to build out the experts in very specific commodities. What's led to this change, given that Enuit has always in the past kind of viewed InTrade as being a singular solution for all commodities?
So,
okay.
Do you want me to take this?
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I'll give it a try, and you can back me up. So we found that the market doesn't really respond well to one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer is to make our platform, which can be tailored easily to fit most any market, but derive and develop specific applications of our product for specific markets. And so we bring in those expertise to help us create those market-specific deployment configurations, you might call it, so that our product is best aligned for the needs of those specific markets and easily deployed, and it speaks the language of those markets, et cetera. So that's our strategy, is to create verticals of our product for each market vertical. Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, thanks, Dave, for answering that. And then actually a little bit history of the C-level positions in the company, right? So we did that early this year. Dave and I always feel fortunate to have lots of talented people working with us. And our philosophy has always been, why do we hire people smarter than us and work for us, and then we tell them what to do all the time? So if you look at some of the C-level people that we promoted in the last year, Ganesh, our COO, have a track record of delivery and sales in the CTRM market for 10, 20 years. David Law, our CPO, in the last 25 years, and he has been doing a lot of good design for CTRM systems. And Chen Xing, our CIO, and he is very detailed in terms of security, especially nowadays with everything going on the web and internet. Cybersecurity become a huge thing for us. So all of them great leaders. So for us, once we set the same goal and the same vision and same way to set priorities, and we really have the C-level people to lead the company. So that's essentially how we actually run the company. And also, as Dave mentioned, it's one platform. It's one platform to cover all commodities. But if you look at it, every commodity it has its own kind of uniqueness, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes even the same commodity in different region, they have different specifics. And even the same region, different projects, and they have different requirements as well. So to bring in people have deep knowledge in certain domain is a way for us to make sure that we do not make our product project-based. It really should be product-based.
Right.
So this way, you don't have like 3 different ways of doing things with the same commodity just because it's different customer. We actually have people who are knowledgeable in certain domain who can guide the projects and sometimes even lead the customers in terms of how to use InTrade. It's a way for us to make every commodity deeper and stronger. That's what we've been trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. And speaking of those commodities, and let's turn to metals a little bit. I understand that Entrade is now fully supporting the entirety of the supply chain function for one of the largest global metal companies. Going back to what you just said about becoming more commodity specific, what does this new capability signify for Enuit and in the near term and even in the long term?
I think the supply chain issue is more of inventory management primarily. Supply chain, if you're a company that buys raw materials and then maybe a part of the conversion of raw materials into refined products of some sort, supply chain is mostly inventory management and tracking of costs. But there's also another element, and that is controls, process controls, so that each step along the way is managed and approved and authorized and tracked, and can be rolled back and can be, redone if needed, so that your counting books are all very transparent and clear. All the costs have been recorded and accounted for correctly for reporting. So the supply chain management ultimately is because of all the accounting principles and accounting processes that are regulated for reporting purposes, that your inventory costs and your inventory controls have to be in place to manage your reporting function at the end of the day. And that's primarily what this is all about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also to add to this is if you look at the supply chain functionality in trade, right? What we have found that a lot of these companies that are trading physical commodities, and they tend to use CTRM systems mostly for risk calculation, and then they use maybe a ERP or multiple ERP systems and for different commodities to track, deal capture and logistic and maybe, accounting side of it.
Yep.
The problem with that is you got into a lot of integration issue and a lot of manual work, and then, that's not even the worst. And the most importantly, you just simply cannot get your risk reporting on time or P&L report on time. It takes days or if not weeks to get your P&L report. So what we have done is quite, I would say, advanced and unique, is being able to bring the supply chain functionality into the CTRM system. So now, truly, you can get your real-time position and P&L in one system. I think that's a very important thing for a trading company, for management, to be able to know that, where they are in terms of their trading and their risk and their P&L.
And just one more point, and that is the reconciliation process most companies face with the trade book to financial reconciliation at the end of every month. It's because you have two sets of books and they need to be reconciled to figure out why they're different.
Right.
And in trade now, there is no reconciliation process needed because both the trade book and financials are synchronized through the whole process.
Yes, yes. And yeah, I think the market is recognizing there is a software actually can combine, both supply chain and CTRM functionality together. We see more and more demand in this area.
Okay. Speaking of investing in new capabilities, I know that you guys are also doing some investing in the technology base of Entrade, including specifically the user interface to make it more web friendly and device agnostic. What's driving that particular investment in those new web capabilities?
So I think that again, Mark, as Ken mentioned, we're responding to the market, and what they're wanting is deployment in an SaaS sort of an approach, where there's more of a lease agreement on the use of it on an annual basis, easily deployed in the internet on a basis, and the use of it can be used anywhere at any time. Those are the basic forces driving our decision. But as anybody knows, it's been a software business a long time. Because of the rate of change in technologies, it's a very difficult thing to keep up. And if you don't keep up, eventually you're pretty much a dinosaur and left to rest on the scrap heap. So that's another driver, is just to keep up with technology.
Yeah, and consumer demand. So
yeah. Right. And also to add that is we actually never wanted to do technology upgrade just for the purpose of doing technology upgrade. It's always really just truly respond to the market. And also to add to this is not the investment we're doing is not simply just change the user interface to a web version. Absolutely not that simple. So it's web user interface, make it easier to use for the clients, make it easier for customers to have multiple systems to be able to integrate with Entrade, make it easier for users to be collaborating with their colleagues. And all of those are actually considerations. And also, well, it's not easy to do that. At the same time, we don't want to do a big bang of technology upgrade and then the customers have to re-implement Entrade. We want to make it seamless. So when we roll out the new version, it will be a simple upgrade instead of re-implementation. So those are all considerations that we're doing.
Yeah. Okay, great, guys. I appreciate it. That's really all I had for today. Is there anything you guys want to add before we close for today?
We are looking forward to a wonderful 2022.
Hopefully we all are.
Yes. Yes, thank you, Patrick. And I also feel fortunate to be able to work with our employees and with our partners and also with our clients. So we want to thank them for supporting us. Truly, without them, we're not going to be able to have the kind of success that we have right now. And then we're looking forward to a bright future.
Great. Thanks, guys. I very much appreciate you taking the time to visit today and look forward to future conversations.
Thank you, Patrick, for taking.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks so much, guys.